Mesurables. Another one.
We back.
Brother, how lucky are we, brother?
I'm saying.
Episode number 5 on your...
They
I
don't,
can't
know,
say
about,
that, though. I can't
they
say
don't
that.
know about that, though. I'm saying.
Big country and big city.
Right.
How is that even possible?
Right.
Shout my brother. All right. The Mesurables. Shot by CaliiVision. Instagram at The Mesurables. Full episodes available on YouTube. If you love the content, which I know you do because you're here with us, please subscribe. This is edutainment. Subscribe. Brother.
What's up? What's on your mind?
I would love to talk to you about lyrics and the music that we heard growing up.
Okay. Huh.
A buddy of mine that I went to high school, I went to high school with. His name is Kobe Clichette.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent me this clip of Jamaica Funk. And the video is very antiquated. They're like in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
But like the black woman was presentable.
Absolutely. Yeah.
She was honorable, but she
Yeah.
was sexy.
Yeah.
The brothers in the group, they all looked like awkward.
Yeah.
They didn't want to be on camera. But it was a certain what attracted me to the clip was how innocent we were and how good the vibe and the music was.
Right.
So I think about songs by Climax. I'm Curious.
Mm-hmm.
I think about Saturday Love. I think about September. Like, these are all things, because keep in mind, like, rap was still in its infancy when I was coming of age, when we were coming of age.
Right.
So, like, the music you listened to was the music of your parents.
Yes.
But how that reflected on your behavior, on society, it was just so incredible, brother.
Yeah.
So incredible.
Yeah.
Like, what are your thoughts on that? Because you were in the music industry.
Yeah, and it's funny you that you bring this up because I actually after we finish on this something, I have another topic that's kind of intertwined in this same. It was just different, man.
How so, though?
Just society was different. Just how people viewed the world was different, and that's what people have to understand. Music, all it is a reflection of society. It's a reflection of the world that you live in.
Agreed.
So when you hear people rapping or singing, they are just talking to you about their life, their society, their world.
Mm-hmm.
So back then, that music reflected society,
right?
And the music
but
that
it was
we
love.
hear, exactly. That's the difference. It was just different.
Yeah.
So as society changes, so the music changes.
Well, so so my father owned a record shop, as you know.
Yeah.
So he would play all different types of music, Blue Eye Soul, Hall and Oates, but he'd also play the SOS band.
Yeah. Gap Band.
I mean, like there were all these bands.
Yeah.
But what I remember outside of him playing a lot of Marvin Gaye, he also played a lot of the SOS band. And Tell Me, Do You Still Care was one of his favorite songs. But when you listen to that song, you can hear how much the two people singing that song actually love either each other or they love the idea of love.
Yes, yeah.
So when I listen to, because I'm a fan of SZA and like all these other, like
so crazy.
It's just like that feeling.
It doesn't exist.
It just doesn't exist.
God, that's so crazy that we like literally. That's one of the topics that I want to touch on. Is just how music has changed over the course of 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
And I saw on Instagram the other day that someone had asked the question what they preferred. 90s R&B music or between 2000 and 2010 R&B music?
90s. Hands down.
But see,
Jodeci?
But
Keith Sweat?
Listen.
Keith Sweat was a little earlier, but go ahead.
Not the artist, the music.
Okay, so 2000 was what? That was Chris
2000,
Brown?
Chris Brown, Beyonce, Neo, Usher. Usher created, which is widely recognized as the greatest R&B album ever, Confessions, was created in 2000.
Sales-wise.
No, not sales-wise, no. As an R&B album, it was widely recognized as the greatest R&B album ever created.
I mean, but it did have What It's Made For.
Superstar. I agree with that.
It's a banger.
I agree with that notion. That is the greatest R&B album ever created. I do agree with that.
Okay, so you said that Usher has what many claim to be the greatest R&B album ever.
Ever created was created in that time frame, 2000 to 2010. Yes.
Okay, L.A. Reid, Jermaine Dupri, Brian Cox, Jonta Austin.
Yeah.
Bro, it was incredible.
Yeah.
But which would you prefer? Which era, the 90s or 2000?
I've given this thought.
Okay.
I have to agree with the 2000 to 2010. When you think about just the music, not the artist, just the music that was created. Because listen, here, stay with me. Stay with me.
I'm listening.
You have to remember a lot of those 90s artists bled into the 2000 years as well, and were still creating music, and their music got better.
So I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying. We have to agree to disagree on this, because N.E. Heartbreak with Boys to Men on it.
Okay. Yeah.
Growing up can be a pain. You're not a man until you come of age.
For sure.
Fire.
Jodeci. I'm not
Fire.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all. All of that is out of this world.
But you would prefer the 2000s more than that music?
The music that was created overall between 2000 and 2010, which included a lot of those artists from the 90s, was incredible. 2000s gave us Chris Brown, who is widely recognized as
incredible,
the next Michael Jackson.
That dude is that dude.
Beyonce transitioned from Destiny's Child to her solo career.
Mm-hmm.
Widely recognized as the greatest female artist ever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All that music was created during that time frame. Neo, widely recognized as one of the greatest songwriters ever. All that music was created between 2000 and 2010.
You should let me love you.
And not just his music, the music that he wrote for other folks.
Yeah, to the left.
Yes, like people, because when people hear that, they just think of the nostalgia of the 90s. And I feel it too. But when you think about the music that was created between 2000 and 2010, that included a lot of those artists from the 90s, it was incredible because they took their artistry to the next level during that time frame.
Well, speaking of artistry, I know that this has died down. It's been a couple of weeks since this came out.
Mm-hmm.
But what are your thoughts on, Kendrick Lamar's song versus Drake's song, blah, 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 blah. And keep in mind, when I think of diss songs, there is not a diss song, to me, in the history of diss songs that tops No Vaseline.
Yeah. Well, yes.
No. Hold on. Now, there are more disrespectful songs like, first off,
yes,
like,
that's what I was going to say.
I
was going to say Tupac is a very close second.
But that's just like, I'm in the studio with just raw emotion and anger. Ice Cube sat down and
carefully penned that record.
And killed Dr. Dre, MC Ren, Yella, and Eazy-E.
He did.
Gave all of them their own verse.
Yes, he did. Yes.
So, the reason why that's important is because I've heard a lot of people talk about they don't like Kendrick's diss version, but they like Drake's. And I really think that if you are someone who is of the culture and appreciates rap music as an American art form, if you listen to what Kendrick is talking about in his song, bro, that brother shoots some daggers at Drake. Like,
absolutely.
So on Euphoria, like, he's talking about like it's no accent you can sell me.
Yeah.
Because I've always said Drake is like a buffet.
Yeah.
This nigga is Jamaican.
Yes.
He's from London.
Yeah.
This dude is, he's everything.
Yeah.
And he's a chameleon.
Yeah.
I always say that, and Kendrick said this in his song, he said, you can do all you want, but you cannot, he said something to the effect of, you can't duplicate this violence.
Yeah.
Because gang banging and gang violence is something that is wholeheartedly American.
Yeah.
It's a dubious distinction.
But it's ours. Absolutely.
What is your top 3 diss songs?
I have to agree with you. Number 1.
No Vaseline.
No Vaseline.
Incredible.
I have to say 1 and 1A because I even though, they're different, but that Tupac record, that's 1A.
Bro,
that dude came in flagrantly disrespectful.
That's how he jumped in.
Flagrantly
Yeah.
disrespectful.
I agree.
He wasn't holding no punches. This is how I feel.
Yeah. Like from the jump.
First off.
And yo, if you ever meet anybody from the Bay, that's how a lot of them start their arguments.
Yeah.
First off.
Yeah.
That's just how they start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is hilarious. Shout to BT. Shout to BT. Because she got mad one time. She was like, man, first off, like, you about to hit him up?
Right. Right. Yeah. That's definitely that's a Cali thing. That is a Cali thing.
So what is your other one? So that's 1A. So what is 2 and 3?
Ether.
Yes.
And then the
Now keep in mind you got Against All Odds. That was on that Machiavelli album.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
You got the Takeover. That
was my next one. Takeover.
But you also got the Bridges Over too.
Yeah, you taking
which was cold.
Yeah. That's when rap beef was like it was a sport. That's back when it was a sport.
The Bridge is over. By the time you got to hit him up, you was gonna die.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, your brothers was killing each other over this rap stuff, and which is taking it to a completely level that we should never have gotten to.
Yeah.
But yeah, back then it was a sport. You know, when Bridge is over. That's when rap was. It was a healthy respect for each other. Like we gonna battle on wax.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore. I'm hoping that this Drake and and Kendrick beef stays like that.
I don't think I don't think it's gonna go there. But I mean,
I hope not.
But Kendrick said at the end, he's like, bro, like let's just keep it all peaceful.
Yeah.
And we good.
Yeah.
But if you cross that line, this is not what you want to do. And if I am someone who's from Canada, not from the United States, no matter how much money you got, you are in a foreign territory.
Yeah, you don't want no smoke.
Please just be respectful.
Yeah. You don't want
because that brother's from Compton, California.
Yeah.
Home of a lot of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would just be careful.
Yeah.
That's just me speaking.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, speaking of being careful, you have something, and then I want to talk to you about Roe versus Wade.
Okay.
Hit it.
Now, going back to the whole music and how it changed society.
Yes.
Do you remember the slow dance?
Do I? Bro, that's when you got your Mac on.
I'm saying.
Hold on. And before you rolled up on that cutie, it was like you patted your pockets.
Yeah.
Found that double mint gum.
Oh, yeah.
Open that package up.
Yeah, make sure that breath was on point.
Bro, please do that first.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to go over with the crouching tiger. No.
Because
no, sir.
Because remember, you just got through doing your best dance step.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so make sure your breath is cool, and you roll over to her, and you get your gentleman on.
I'm saying.
Excuse me, dear. How are you doing?
Yeah. My name is...
Y'all having a good time tonight?
Yeah.
Hey, I saw you from earlier. This is the perfect time. Right. What's up?
Yeah.
And what she would do, because she respected your acumen, she wouldn't be like, she'd be like, you know what? Come on.
Yeah, let's do this. Right.
How baller was that?
Man, but it's just, that doesn't exist anymore.
The slow dance?
Brother, these kids ain't slow dancing.
Are they dancing at all?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a whole other thing.
They in the club doing this.
That's a whole other thing. They're not dancing at all. But like they're not even playing slow songs in the clubs. That was like a thing we used to wait for. When they used to play that.
I cannot wait.
Girl, tell me when I can see your smile again. When they played that.
So first off, this brother shouldn't be singing. That's one. But I hear you though.
Yes.
But I hear you though.
When they played, dude, it was like, okay, yeah.
We about to get it
popping.
Bro, my wife, I met her. Well, actually, it wasn't to a slow jam. It was to Michael Jackson's I forget what song it was. It'll come to me in a second. But again,
dancing.
I came in the club, and when you know this from being from Los Angeles. You know this from being from Los Angeles. When you step into the party, you don't just holler at the first one because there's so many in there. You go in there.
L.A.
You go in there and you see
survey.
all.
Survey the area.
And then you may say, I'm going to holler at her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to holler at her and her. Or you may just be like, I'm hollering at her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I saw my wife after I surveyed, and I was like, you know what? That's the one.
Right.
But let me tell you about these new girls, though.
What was the name of the party though that you met her at?
Oh my Lord, you really gonna make me do
I'm
this?
saying, son, you gotta you gotta drop these jewels. These kids, these folks need to know how baller life was back then.
Yo, shout out to Victor Duplay. He had a spot called Kiss and Grind.
Kiss and Grind.
I'm so ashamed that my sons are gonna hear where I met their mom at a place called Kiss and Grind.
But I'm saying no.
But it was cold.
That was wholesome, pure enjoyment back then. You go there to get your fun on, to get your Mac on.
Oh, to get your Mac
and
on.
And get your drink on.
Oh, yeah, to get your drink on, too. So, I see her, roll up to her, ask her to dance. And this is what I'm talking about, these new women.
Yeah.
See, in 93, when I graduated from high school, you roll up, you presentable, it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, let's dance. I roll up on Moni. This is what she say. Damn, you tall. Where you from? You got any kids? You got a job? I'm like,
damn,
girl,
you tall.
I'm like, the song is only 2 minutes.
Right.
Like, what we doing?
Right.
Rock With You was what that was the song, which isn't a slow jam.
Yeah,
but
you still in the groove though.
But it's in that groove.
Yeah, you grooving.
It ain't Cap D coming.
Right.
Cap D coming. Hot D coming.
Yeah, you ain't getting none of that.
None of that.
No.
So it was just, I rolled up on her. She had all these questions for me. But after I broke through that crescendo, we actually, obviously it worked out. We got 2 kids together.
Right.
On property, the whole bit.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on the lack of the slow dance now? How do you think that affects the way that women and men interact with each other?
Dude, I've given this so much thought. Do you know when all of this stuff changed? We can even take this back to just R&B music. It just, when it all changed and the society turned and this generation's mental is just completely out of whack. When social media became a thing.
Think so?
Yes. And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Kids did not have to interact directly with other people.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
That's when society turned. You can just get on the social media platform, text or whatnot, and that's how you communicated. There was no face-to-face. You weren't forced to be like, you know what? Yeah, I got the balls to go up to this woman and to ask her to dance.
And holla at her.
Now you do it on social media, which is crazy. I'm telling you, that social media is the best and worst thing that ever happened to society.
Yeah. Now, I would have to say I agree with you 100%, but I just want to point something out. My son plays soccer at that park right across the street and up the street from Bev's house.
Oh, they're there. Yeah.
So they got this big, it's a big field. They got they got an upper part and a lower part. Yep. I walk around the entire thing 5 times when I'm there because the boys are practicing. Right. I just want to get my exercise. What I noticed, and you probably noticed this too, everybody, if they're not watching their children, they're all doing this. Everybody is doing this.
Yes. Yeah.
Nobody is just sitting and just.
Yeah.
So what was interesting was, as I'm walking around, people was looking at me like I was crazy because I didn't have no phone.
Yeah.
I'm walking around that entire facility saying affirmations of wealth. Right. That's all I'm doing.
Right.
And it's a big field. Right. But I was just so surprised that nobody is just taking time to just be with nature.
Yeah. Yeah.
All your moments are either speaking to somebody or speaking to somebody or looking for something.
And I'm definitely guilty of that as well. So yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
You're guilty of that too?
Yeah, man, because I'm constantly working. Constantly. I have to, or my wife has to tap me on the shoulder hey.
Yeah, come out.
Disconnect. Put that phone down.
I agree.
Because I'm constantly in work mode, trying to get the next, doing the next, because entrepreneur, you kill what you eat, so I'm constantly
I understand.
in that mode.
I understand.
So I have to, mostly my wife tap me on the shoulder, all right, it's time to disconnect. Put that down.
Right. Or
I have to think about let me just put my phone down.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you talked about the slow dance. I want to talk to you what happens after the slow dance.
Okay.
Take her home and get her cracking.
Okay.
You take her home and get her. Y'all get it popping.
I'm glad our kids aren't watching this.
So listen. You take her home and get her cracking. y'all have relations.
Mhm.
You all may be using condoms. You all may not.
Hopefully you are.
Hopefully you are. Hopefully you are.
Yeah.
But mistakenly, she gets pregnant.
Uh-huh.
Remember I told you I want to talk to you about Roe v. Wade?
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to know in what corner of the world men came up with the idea that I'm going to tell a woman what to do with her body.
This is
The silliest shit ever.
I feel like we say this constantly, but that's the craziest thing ever.
Please
I
elaborate.
mean, not only just men, like men who run this country making laws telling women what they can and can't do with their body has to be the craziest thing ever created. That's like they're almost like playing God, which is insane.
Well, this is, I have these special shout outs that I give to the public.
Okay.
I think that lawmakers should connect with the producers of American Idol
Okay.
because no one votes more than people vote for American Idol.
Yeah.
They have a system that is foolproof.
Yeah.
It hasn't been hacked, none of that.
Right. Right.
And I want every single person who believes it's not a woman's right to choose and that abortion should be illegal to sign up. Sign up
for what?
Put your name on this list so we know who you are, so you're accounted for. Right. So come tax time, there will be a special tax just for you for the offsprings of these children that you want to survive.
Hey, brother, that is an amazing idea.
I'm just saying, I'm full of these.
I mean, if you're going to stand on that,
stand on business.
You stand on this one come April 15th. Stand on that.
And when you're supposed to get 35,000 back, but you only get 5,000 back because you're at a clinic where this woman who was raped is talking about she don't want this offspring.
Right.
And you stand on business. No. Stand on business when it comes time for your dollars to be taken.
Absolutely. Stand on that.
Because nothing will motivate you more than getting hit in your pocket.
Absolutely.
And a lot of
where they feel it.
And a lot of people who doing this talking will sit down and shut their up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
When they get hit in their pocket. Because one, it's none of your business.
It's none of your business.
None.
Right. Who are you to try to play God to tell somebody else what they do with their body? It's crazy.
Okay.
Insane.
So, real quick, the Diggable Planets have this song called La Femme Fatale.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that song.
Yeah.
But it's a spoken word piece that Butterfly is pretty much talking about, a couple that realized that they were pregnant and want to get an abortion. And they're talking about how lawmakers are just like, you know what? This is something that's not accessible to everybody, just the rich.
Right.
And they talk about the situation would surely change if they were to find themselves in it.
Right.
Supporters of the H-bombs, firebombing clinics. This is the main thing. He says, pro-lifers need to dig themselves because life don't start after birth. And for a child born to the unprepared, it might just get worse. This is what came from hip hop early. Now we talking about beef raps.
That's a bar right there.
That is a bar. So again, government, connect with the producers of American Idol, create this situation so we know who you are because you have to be clearly accounted for. You need to be clearly accounted. We need to know who you are in society.
I love the connection to American Idol. It's like, they have a foolproof voting system.
Foolproof. Make sure that you sign up. And when it comes tax time and your pockets get hit and you take that $30,000 hit and you still standing on business, I respect you. But if you're complaining, shut up right now and give the woman her right to do with her body.
Absolutely.
Her body.
You're like,
Keyword,
I ain't trying to hear nothing about no voter fraud, nothing like that. Get with American Idol.
There we go.
Their voting system is foolproof.
There we go. Next topic, please.
Yo, I love the American Idol. Yo, shout out to American Idol. Maybe we need to use your voting system.
We need to use your voting system for the presidency
Absolutely,
too.
for everything.
For everything. It seems to be very accurate.
I'm saying,
Okay.
All right. I want to talk about the greatest Black movie ever. You know what that is?
It's so many.
No, I'm talking about the greatest. Because the greatest.
You said the greatest.
Lovable, Inside of me, yeah. Coming to America is the greatest
I
black
agree.
movie ever created.
Now, hold on. Is it the greatest black comedy or is it the greatest movie ever?
Greatest black movie ever.
Wow.
I watched that movie every day of my 11th grade year in high school. Every day.
Agreed.
I can recite that movie word for word.
Me too.
The greatest movie ever.
Me too.
Shout out to Eddie Murphy.
Arsenio Hall. Yeah.
For blessing my childhood
Agreed.
with that movie.
Agreed.
I don't know how I could not I probably wouldn't be the same person I am today if I wouldn't have saw that movie. That movie is incredible.
Yeah. Now hold on. This is my question. Should they have done a part 2?
In hindsight, no, because it wasn't nearly close as good as part 1.
It had some funny parts.
It has its moments.
I just didn't understand how the Jewish dude was still alive in the barbershop.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
How were you still alive 30, 40 years later? Like, this is ridiculous. It's crazy.
It still looked the same, though.
It still look exactly the same. He don't got no respirator.
Right.
Like, that was foolishness.
So, like, in hindsight, no, because that movie was just so great. It could have never been topped. So in hindsight, no, I wish it would have been a part 2. But shout out to Coming to America Part 1. That movie's incredible.
Bro, it was incredible. But I was telling you, it's not only what's going on in front of you, it's all of this foolishness going on in the background that made it hilarious. You know what? One other person who makes his movies that way is Adam Sandler.
Right.
Because he'll have the situation going on right here.
And
like
then
if
some
you
other
look
wild stuff going on in the background.
Like if you look at Mr. Deeds,
yeah,
bro, it is hilarious. It is hilarious, but it's like
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. He drew from the same book of like I'm gonna have comedy where it's rooted in who I am, but it's also gonna be this other stuff. The other thing that I appreciate about Coming to America is that it was comedic, but it wasn't comedic at the expense of our blackness.
Absolutely. Exactly. Hence why I said this is the greatest black movie ever.
There was
no black
buffoonery,
none of that.
No buffoonery.
None.
It wasn't an abundance of the N-word being used. I'm like, what's wrong with these people? Like, speaking of that.
It's realistic. Don't forget about the soul glow.
The soul, brother, let your soul shine through. Feeling so silky smooth.
Big dowels. All right, let's move on.
So have you seen Vince Staples' show?
No, I have not.
So Vince Staples is by far, like, as a personality, I find him extremely entertaining.
Okay.
But I watched this show, and he has one episode where he's in a bank, and these robbers come in, and so Vince steps into the bank, and he's trying to get a loan.
Right.
There's a white guy there who's looking at him like, nigga, you know I'm not giving you no loan.
Right.
So these robbers come, and the robbers are from Vince's neighborhood.
Okay.
So they dapping it up, and they talking. The white guy who just shitted on Vince is like, yo, can you help me out? And Vince is like, why should I? Should I help you the same way you were going to help me? I felt that episode was like incredible. But after that, it's a whole lot of use of the N-word.
Yeah.
And the reason why I bring this up is because I wonder, because Dave Chappelle did a show where he was just like, at a certain point, I had to realize that they weren't laughing with me. They were laughing at me. I wonder if Vince Staples and the creators of the show, like, to get that show to air, do you have to say all these N-words in the show to get it on air? Because I felt like that took away from it. And it like, every episode thereafter, I was just like I lost interest in it after a while because I was just like, I don't understand this. It's just unnecessary use of the N-word.
Yeah.
I mean, just like completely unnecessary. And then there was an episode where this dude is chasing him around, trying to kill him, and the dude's son is outside. I was just like, I don't understand it.
I've never seen the Brothers show, so I honestly can't even speak on it. But I mean, are you saying, are the producers of the show asking him or requesting him to overly use the N-word? Is that what you're saying?
Well, the thing is, I don't know. I'm posing that question because, you know, when you get to the network side, not a lot of us over there.
Right.
So who's actually cultivating this, and who is this for? Actually, who is the end consumer of this?
Right.
And who is the person who's packaging it and selling it? Because you got to sell it to somebody who doesn't look like us.
Right, right.
It's a wonder of mine. Like, if you have comedy that is good as Coming to America was, can it sell in today's market? Because there was very few racial epithets used in that movie.
Yeah.
It was just all brilliant comedy.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
You know what? I don't know. It's hard for me to answer that question because just this generation is just different, bro. They're just different. Their interest, like what they find funny, how they live their life, how they like view the world is just different than how we grew up. So, and what they think is funny is probably, I'm sure that's different. So it's hard to answer that. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, what I do know is that we've reached the end of this episode. That's what I do know. My brother, The Mesurables, shot by CaliiVision.
Cali.
Instagram at The Mesurables. Full episodes available on YouTube. If you like the content, you have got to subscribe.
Hit that subscribe button. Come on, let's do this.
Listen to two educated brothers here telling you what to do. That's not outside of your, it's very easy. You just press the button.
Exactly. It's very easy.
Subscribe.
Support.
As I say at the end of every episode, be kind to yourself because you're always listening.
And to others.
Peace. The Mesurables.